Good morning, America. Thanks for joining us here on the Andy Kirkendall Show, where Andy interviews actors, writers, filmmakers, athletes, musicians, songwriters, and more, and asks them, what do you do and why do you do it? So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the show.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Moment Message. It's time to share a few thoughts about the scriptures and about the Lord. Today's message is called I'm Just a Stinking Christian. Let me explain the title to you. But before that, let me tell you a story. Years ago, my wife and I took a trip to the Grand Canyon. We flew into Las Vegas, got a rental car, drove to the Grand Canyon, had a great time there. And on the way to the Grand Canyon, we saw a sign that pointed to the Grand Canyon and then said California. So at the time, neither one of us had ever been to California, and we said let's detour. We got some time. Let's detour our little trip and just drive over and cross the border to California so that we could say we've been there. If you've ever just wanted to go into a state to check it off your list to say, I've been there. Well, we got to Nevada and the California border, and we stood there and got our pictures taken with the sign in Nevada, or Nevada, however you want to say it, and then went to the other side of the road to California to get our picture taken with the sign to California. As we were getting our pictures taken, we kept going, man, something stinks. It's awful. Oh man. And my wife made the statement, says, man, California really stinks. Well, we looked down in the ditch and there was a dead animal right by the side. We judged the whole state by the dead animal by the sign that said California. We laughed about that, the reference, and we thought about how we carried on about stinking California. People from California, no reference to California being stinking. But we remember things that are smelly. One of the greatest memories that we have, or bringing memories up, are smells. To this day, I can think about some smells I smelled as a nurse, and I could gross you out all day long with that, let me tell you. And it brings me right back to some memories of smells. Good smells, but especially awful smells. Sometimes I become just a stinking Christian. How does that happen? Well, when Jesus saved me, he saved me, and 59 years ago when I got saved, he saved me, and I was dirty, rotten, vile sinner. I was a stinking sinner. And he came in and saved me, just like the prodigal son, wallowing in the pig slop and stinky pigs. He got up and said, I could go to my father, I could return to my father, and my father will take me back. And the stench of sin is upon us until we get saved. And even after we ask Christ in our heart, there are times that we could be stinking Christians. Isaiah 64:6 tells us that our righteousness, our self-righteousness, is like filthy rags to him. When we become self-righteous, when we want to make it about us, we want to make it about who we are and what we've done, it's a stench to God that he does not like. And not only is it a stench to God, but it makes us stinking Christians to everybody around us. You see, God intends us to have a sweet relationship with him. And it comes when we come to him in praise and worship. Even the Old Testament, when it talked about the tabernacle and all the different steps of sacrifice, one of the areas was the table of incense, where the priest would burn incense to be a sweet smell to God as we present our sacrifices. You see, when we sacrifice our praise to him, it is a sweet aroma. It's like that incense to him. And not only our sacrifices to him, but for 2 Corinthians 2:15 says, "For we are a fragrance of Christ to God among those who are being saved and among those who are perishing." Ephesians 5:1-2 says, "Therefore be imitators of God as beloved children. We walk in love just as Christ also loved us and gave himself for us, an offering and a sacrifice of God as a fragrant aroma." One of my favorite commercials, and I have to say this every time I hear it, is a spoof spray. And I'm not getting any commercial money from saying this. I wish I was, but I'm not. But that commercial, a guy sprays this stuff, and it brings down smells. And in that commercial, it has a little poop picture, and the poop says, "I smell like poop and flowers now." And every time that commercial comes on, I have to go, "I smell like poop and flowers now." If you've seen the commercial, you know what I'm talking about. But just like that spray, when I come to Christ, he says, "I am now going to eliminate the stinkiness of you, the stinkiness of sin, the stinkiness of self-righteousness. Come to me and I will spray and not just cover your smell, but I'll eliminate it and turn it to the fragrance, the aroma of Christ." Oh, to be saturated by the love of God. And our stinkiness and our wallowing in sin and our self-righteousness can be removed by surrender. I come to you, Lord. I surrender my stinking life to you. As smelly as I come to you. Let the fragrances and the flowers and the glory and the incense from heaven make you somebody that people want to be around because you smell good. Hey, I hope this message has been helpful to you and you've enjoyed it. Please pass this message on. Keep coming back. And may God richly bless you.